Now we're going to go to Pittsburgh as Cheryl changes the slides and hear a little bit about the approach in that community and what it's yielding. All yours, Nina.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. I am so excited to be here and proud to represent the 3,000 members of the Pittsburgh Federation of Teachers and the great, great work they are doing because they're passionate about our schools and our students, and we'll do everything we can to keep them moving forward. In my 36 years with the district in Pittsburgh, which I cannot believe, I have truly seen the good, the great, the bad, and the grotesquely ugly of school reform. And so what we have done is work together to make our schools better. Now, you should know this. Pittsburgh is a mid-level urban district. When I started with the district, we had well over 60,000 students and 90 school buildings. Unfortunately, now there has been some decline. We are down to 26,000 students and 54 buildings, which I'll talk to you a little bit later about the school closings later. I do want you to know, too, we are coming off of a Gates grant. We were fortunate enough to get a $40 million Gates grant, which sunset last June. It had some great things in it. It had some things that weren't so great. It did get the attention of the Council on Teacher Quality, and we were named very recently one of the 8 great districts for great teachers recently, which we're very proud of. But some things out of that we did not find so helpful too. What we have found helpful, and there are 3 things that we think have been great, and that has been our authentic and dogged pursuit of our authentic partnerships, some of which I hope to get to today, our dedication to continuous, and we are very big on this, communications. We probably over-communicate to make sure that people, including the community, particularly our members and the district, get our message. Also, we try to have the courage to run towards the problem instead of away from it. And I hope you'll see that in some of our work today. So I want to go to what I consider to be one of our favorite. This is one of our favorite projects that we have worked on the power of partnership. Right here we have a beautiful and very well kept, even though the building's 115 years old, it has been gutted inside, and it's really a beautiful building. This is called Woolslayer Elementary, one of our schools in Pittsburgh. Due to a number of factors, the enrollment at Woolslayer had decreased. Some of it was short-sightedness by the district, to be honest. They opened an elementary school right down the hill that was packed, and then Woolslayer was down to 104 students. So it was on the chopping block, unfortunately. And as I talked about, we've lost a lot of school buildings. Most notably in 2006, 22 of our schools was closed at one time. And if I can tell you the most heartbreaking thing I have ever lived through was the closing of 22 of our schools, including the school I taught at. So it hit me particularly hard. So the teachers, this was on the block in 2012. Our superintendent at that time decided to close more buildings. Woolslayer was one of the schools slated to close. But you know what? I was really proud that our teachers and parents got together to say, oh no, you're not closing this gem. You're not going to close it. They reached out to the PFT to get help with what they can do, and what they did, they started to work together and grow and work with the community. The first thing they did was, all right, what would attract people to our school? We need to attract people back, to get people. They weren't trying to steal them from other Pittsburgh public schools like the one down the hill. They wanted to attract people back from charter schools or private schools, and they literally went out and canvassed the community. What would make Woolslayer attractive to you? What they found is a STEAM program. Our parents and the community were very interested in starting a STEAM program. We had little ones at schools, but nothing school-wide. They researched it. They went and visited STEAM projects. They partnered with other districts to find out more about STEAM and bring it to the district. They went to the school board with their proposal, and we were there with them, I'm very proud to say, with their proposal to start a STEAM magnet at Woolslayer Elementary. They got the new board members, which we had helped and supported our new progressive board. They got them to agree where they literally overturned the closing of Wolfslayer. And it was a first in our district. It was great. Not only did they overturn the closing, they made it one of 3 STEAM schools that year. They opened 3 STEAM magnets in 1 year. They hired a STEAM coordinator for the entire district. They hired STEAM teachers at each of the designated schools. And they've also continued to expand STEAM through grants to other schools also, which has been wonderful. By 2013-14, you can see right on that banner, we're very proud that Wolfslayer was designated as a star school. That's a big deal in our district. It means you're in the top 15 or 25% of growth in the district in the state based on our state exam. So that was a really big deal, and how wonderful it came right when they had saved Wolfslayer from closing. The best news, the size of Wolfslayer has doubled since that time, and once again, it hasn't been from that school down the road, the elementary school, which we're all friends. They're all in the same district. It didn't have, that place is still stuffed. It came from parents choosing to send their kids to Wolfslayer or taking them out of the charter schools, which we were very happy about also. The class sizes, our teachers now refer to them as huge, the class sizes, but that's because they were used to very small ones. And we're very happy to report it always was 1 first grade, 1 second. There are now 2 rounds of every grade, which has been a wonderful turnaround at that school, and we're so proud of it. What's even better, the work of our teachers and the parents working together has really inspired and empowered these people to become leaders. We have gotten some real advocates for public education out of the community in Lawrenceville, where that is, and from some of the teachers. So I consider that to be a fabulous success story, and we have learned so much from this experience also. Another one, and I'm just going to show you some of the partnerships, because once again, we are dogged in pursuit of partnerships. We are working with some people, to be honest, that I never thought I'd ever choose to work with. And we are now, and I'm very proud of it. And I hope to have time to tell you what I consider to be an amusing story about that. The PFT was one of the founding members of Great Public Schools Pittsburgh. This is a coalition in Pittsburgh of groups, and it has been wonderful. So many times when you're a teacher, you feel you're alone in your silo, and you're the one that can save the kids in the school, and you want to do it all yourself. GPS has taught me there are so many people that are interested and passionate about public education for a number of reasons. These are some of our GPS partners. We have included now, we have added community and schools, which I'm very thrilled about, and the Homewood Children's Village, which we'll talk about later. We do so many things together in this coalition. Once again, I use the word dogged because we are determined to work together, get past issues, and keep communicating. We work on things like the school board election, those groups that can, some are not able to, but we have worked to elect a very progressive, helpful school board. We work on legislation. We worked on the search for a new superintendent. We were very vital in that. We keep, and a very important thing we do, we let each other know what our group is up to so we can support each other in all ways. So that has been very helpful to us. We look for ways to work together. The primary thing we work on together is a passion for all of us. For so long, the PFT has pushed for a community school model in Pittsburgh. It fell on deaf ears because we had a superintendent who was not interested. She had come from Iowa. She was not interested. She thought it would cost too much money. Little did we know until we started working with GPS that there were all kind of groups that were interested in the same model because they wanted to work with the whole child, the whole community. And this is something I failed to mention earlier, but I think it's very important. Though we had worked on empowering effective teachers, teacher effectiveness with our Gates grant, and we did a lot of work on that. It was interesting that studies that came afterwards, including the report from the board that was the grant committee, and also from Great City Schools, that our work was too narrow. We focused so much on teacher effectiveness that we ignored other factors like poverty, like the curriculum. We focused so much on the teachers, we weren't looking at what the teachers were teaching. And I thought that was very telling. So that is why we tried to expand our look on so many issues, on so many things. This group has been wonderful working on the community school model. We got the board interested in the community school model, so much to the point that our partners on Great Public Schools Pittsburgh has worked on a community school policy with the district, helped hire a superintendent that's very pro community schools, and now most of our, I think 5 of our 6 or 6 of our 7 groups that work on GPS are on the steering committee for the district for the community school model, which has been really, really gratifying. And we'll probably open our first community schools this fall, which I'm so excited about. I can't tell you. Oh, I didn't skip to that one. But that is also in your folder, so you can see some of our work on community schools. We have truly become a cradle career. That has become the PFT byword. We are cradle to career, because too often our high school teachers don't know about our early childhood programs. A big focus has been with our work with GPS is getting to know the value of all of us, how we're all symbiotic and we're all working together. And that has been a great process for all of us. I want to quickly go through some of the things we have worked on to show our cradle to career. A great thing we have worked on turning around the CTE program. This came out of a meeting that we held at the PFT building. We invited the mayor, who did come. We invited the president of the Allegheny County Labor Council, city council, board representatives. AFT was also there to talk about CTE. It started, the best comment from the whole meeting was the mayor saying, you know what, you all have to help me. I need more diversity in my workforce in the safety. I need more African American police officers and EMTs. You gotta help me with this. That was the birth of a whole new program that we worked together with the district and formed in one of our priority schools on emergency response technology, where our own students, we're going to grow our own and help the mayor to reach his goal of more diversity in his workforce. What has been beautiful about this, and part of this was funded through a grant from AFT, it has been a true partnership where the city, everyone leaves their titles at the door and have come in to work together on behalf of our kids. The city has donated a fire truck, an ambulance. I'm excited we're now getting a police car too, which is really cool. And we have this program. We also have started an emergency response, not emergency response, an entertainment technology. Since you may not know, Pittsburgh is considered the Hollywood of the East. Did you know that? And that's what, so we have an entertainment technology program. It has been gratifying to see that career and technical education, and I'm sorry if those of you who didn't know what that was, I'm sorry, I did not say that.
Nina, just about 2 more minutes. I'm still processing the notion of the Hollywood of the East.
I know, you got to see. But we are expanding. I'm just going to quickly go through, because these are some of the other things we have worked on. Brashear, there's you, Mary Catherine. We got to her to visit our teaching academy. So there's a picture of her, but in wrapping up, these are some of the things we do for communication, because we always make that huge. These are some other things. I do want to give a shout out to, as I've said, we are dogged in our partnerships and with whom we work. We are delighted to have AFT as a partner. I've always been a big proponent, even when I was a speech therapist, on people getting more involved with their union, to using the power behind their union. We are very fortunate in AFT to have such forward thinking and supportive leadership, and AFT itself. These are just some of the partnerships we have with AFT that has made us grow the way we are in Pittsburgh, and I so appreciate it, and it would not have been right to not recognize that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hope you all visit the Hollywood of the East very soon. The AFT convention is there in 2018, just to put in a plug, so I hope to see you all there.
Nina, now I'm not sure if you work for the district, the teachers union, the Chamber of Commerce, or you're the mayor, just for it's fantastic.
I myself the Secretary of State
There we go.
for Pittsburgh.